Hey guys, welcome back to Sheri Approved. I hope you guys are doing well. If you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. And if you're already a part of the Sheri Approved family, thank you so much for joining me again today. Today, I want to challenge you guys when it comes to your skincare routine in 2023. So I want to share with you 5 tips for leveling up your skincare in 2023. Now, as a licensed skincare consultant, I am very aware that we are all at different stages when it comes to our skincare routine, the skincare routine development. Some of you might be very new. Some of you may be in this thing way longer than I have, but there are some things that perhaps we can all do to kind of take our skincare to the next level. So perhaps after today's video, you might challenge yourself to just 1 or 2 of these tips, or you might challenge yourself to all 5. Or perhaps you're already doing all of these things and you might just want to increase or change a little bit how you do them. So I hope that today's video will be helpful for all of you. The first step has to do with sunscreen application. And we all know it's not going to be a skincare tips video without me mentioning something with regards to sunscreen. If you are new, I just want you to know that sunscreen is the most important step of your skincare routine if you are concerned with having healthy skin. Sunscreen is the be-all and end-all of so many things when it comes to skincare and skin issues. And just in case you've gotten fed up of people talking about sunscreen, there is a reason and a method to the madness. Now, if you are a person of skin of color like I am, yes, we naturally do have some natural sun protection because of the levels of melanin in our skin. However, that is nowhere close to the amount of sun protection that we need on a daily basis to protect our skin health. And worse yet, if you want to talk about well aging, preventing premature aging, dealing with things like hyperpigmentation, all of these things rise and fall with the proper use of sunscreen. So this tip really has to do with, if you're not using sunscreen, start. If you are using sunscreen, work on proper application of sunscreen. And when I'm talking about proper application, I'm talking about using the correct amount. Now, you can go through all the mathematical details and work out the exact amount that you specifically need. But in general, you need about 1/4 teaspoon for your face, another 1/4 teaspoon for your ears and your neck. And perhaps you are already applying the correct amount of sunscreen. I am so proud of you, but you may need to work on reapplication. And I know this one tends to be a huge challenge for a lot of people, but once you are outside or exposed to direct UV, I highly want to encourage you to reapply your sunscreen, especially if you have conditions like melasma or issues with hyperpigmentation, or you are like me, you just really want to prevent premature aging and you want to do well aging. That's going to be so important. And I am telling you, 20-30 years from now, your skin is going to thank you. Tip number 2 for leveling up your skincare in 2023 is, what about applying a targeted skincare mask 1 to 2 times per week? And I'm talking about masking in this sense because for a lot of people, they do their regular skincare routine, whether it's the basics, whether they include treatments because they're working on particular things, or they just really love the whole routine of doing skincare and self-care and all of that. But a lot of people miss out on that gem, that hidden gem, which is using a facial mask, but more so a targeted facial mask that you could include even if it's just 1 or 2 a week in your routine. Notice that when you go for a professional facial, that they almost always include some type of treatment mask, because it is that little, for me, using facial masks is like the underdog. It just takes your skin to the next level. So even if you are using your serums and your treatments, including a mask could really help accelerate your progress. There are many different types of masks, both in composition, use, application, but then they're also different in terms of what they target. So some of them may be targeting hyperpigmentation and brightening. There are masks that will help to refine your skin, make your pores appear smaller and tighter. There are masks that will focus on hydration. There are masks that will focus on helping the look of the firmness and the elasticity of your skin. So the thing is, figure out what you actually probably want to target. If you have not been using masks before, probably just even get 1 and just try it 1 to 2 times a week. Give yourself a little bit of extra care and you will see such a difference, especially if you are able to maintain this over a long period of time. A couple of years ago, I did a 30-day mask challenge, and while I used to mask before that, doing 30 days of masking, and that is with proper rotation of different types of masks, I saw such a drastic difference in my skin that I really got on the mask bandwagon. And while I don't mask every single night, I do mask a couple times a week, sometimes every other night. night. Depending, it can make such a huge difference. And for the person that already does masking a couple times a week, what about looking at the rotation? What about looking at the types of masks that you're using? Are they targeting the issues that you want to treat in your skin? So perhaps you can kind of edit your collection. You can look a little bit more closely as to what you actually want to do and what you actually want to use. And then you can kind of create a little bit of a schedule to get those masks in a rotation to help your overall skin. Tip number 3 for leveling up your skincare in 2023, don't forget your neck and your chest. I know this is one that we've heard many times, and while we've heard it, like, do we actually do it? Like, yeah, comment down below if you're like me, and sometimes you forget it. So I have actually been making a very conscious effort, especially since I turned 40 in 2022, to really focus on my neck and my chest as well when I am doing my skincare routine. What has happened is that sometimes I'll do it, sometimes I'll not, that kind of thing, but I am making the actual effort now, both in my morning and my nighttime skincare routine, to also treat those areas. If you go and look at yourself in the mirror and you look at your face and your neck, you can actually see the difference. And that's why they always, if you want to see the age of a person, look at their neck and look at their hands, because we tend to not protect those areas. Even if we're using sunscreen on our face, sometimes we skip our neck and our chest. So here are some of the things that you really want to keep in mind when it comes to taking care of your neck and your chest. Cleansing those areas is just as important as cleansing your face. So I notice that a lot of times people will tell me, oh, I cleanse my face, and then when I use a cotton pad, I still see stuff coming off of it, like if I'm using a cotton pad with a toner. And then I'm like, is that coming off from the center of your face, or is it like the perimeter? And it's because a lot of times, like when we're cleansing, we focus on the center of our face. We don't even focus properly on the edges of our face, worse yet our neck and our chest. So residue of dirt and bacteria will remain in those areas. So cleanse it properly. But it is important to recognize that the skin in this area, especially on our neck, is a lot more delicate than most parts of our face. That means that even if you want to use a lot of your serums, like just automatically taking everything down your neck and your chest, sometimes there might be issues because you might create a situation where you are irritating the area. What that means is that yes, we want to definitely be able to get retinols, you want to be able to gently exfoliate those areas, but you want to make sure that you look at the type of product that you are using. So while most of your skincare you could probably take down on your neck and your chest, if it's something that's too harsh or a very strong treatment, in the same way that you did due diligence to gently get your skin on your face up to a particular level, is what you also want to do with your neck and your chest. Take all your hyperpigmentation serums, your vitamin C, your niacinamide, bakuchiol, tranexamic acid, all these things that you use on your face, you can absolutely take it down on your neck. And especially if you are somebody that's a little bit more sensitive, probably not using retinol, you all will be hearing me talk a lot about bakuchiol, especially in this year, because if you do not want to put retinol in these areas, but you do want to give it that well-aging care, using bakuchiol on your chest and your neck is a wonderful way to treat that area. And whilst you're also treating, don't forget to moisturize, especially at night. Go heavy with the moisturizer on your neck and your chest. Make sure you slather on that hydration, whatever moisturizer you choose. You could choose something that's absolutely plain, or you could choose something that's packed with antioxidants and other types of ingredients, peptides, brightening ingredients, whatever you like, but you want to make sure that is really nicely hydrating on that skin. Of course, you don't need me to remind you that if these areas are going to be exposed during the day, then definitely take your SPF in those areas. Now, something I want to mention when it comes to SPF. Whenever I have an issue with SPF that irritates my face and my eyes and so on, I generally finish those SPFs on my body because my neck and my chest tends to handle those a lot better. So while you might be a little bit more careful in terms of the texture, the finish, the feel and so on of a sunscreen that's for your face, you can actually get a sunscreen that's a lot more affordable, that's even probably a little bit more hydrating, and use it on your neck and your chest area. Tip number 4, and by the way, I could do individual videos on all of these tips, but I just kind of want to give you a little roundup. So tip number 4 has to do with your body care, and we don't just want to level up skincare when it comes to our face, but skincare is also for our bodies. And I'm not just talking about the regular body care. So for example, a lot of us probably already do exfoliation because we're using body scrubs ever so often. You probably use a body lotion, a body cream, a body butter every day and so on. What I'm talking about is perhaps some of us may have skin issues. So for example, some people have strawberry skin, or maybe you notice that your skin is not looking the lovely way that it used to. It's looking a little bit dull, it's looking a little bit more haggard. You're seeing the signs of aging on the skin on your body, and that could be arms, legs, but also your chest, your back, and so on, you can absolutely start bringing in active ingredients in your body care. And when I'm talking about active ingredients, I am talking about bringing in the retinols and bringing in the exfoliants. So one of the things that I actually started doing within the last year actually is including things like lactic acid, glycolic acid on my body, and I've also started using retinol, gentle retinols, in my body care. So there's several ways you can do this. You can actually purchase a product that was designed for your body, a body cream or something like that, that includes these actives, or you could simply use your serum that you already have, mix a little bit in with your body lotion, your body cream, just before you apply it on your skin at night, and let the rejuvenation happen. Again, it doesn't necessarily need to be strong. The key with skincare, whether it's on your face or your body or anywhere, is time and consistency. And of course, with all that, you must have patience. So these are not things that's going to give you like a drastic change in just a couple of weeks, but I guarantee you, start now. At the end of the year, let's talk about it, and you're going to tell me the changes that you have noticed on your body. And tip number 5 for leveling up your skincare in 2023 has actually nothing to do with the products that we apply, but more so with regards to focusing a little bit more on our health, particularly with regards to our microbiome and our stress management. Now, there is so much talk in the health world, in the skincare world, about microbiome, for example, because we talk about the microbiome, which is that lovely, delicate system of bacteria that lives on our skin, and we do need good bacteria for the proper function of our skin, for the health of our skin barrier, and all that jazz. Once there is an imbalance, problems occur. But I want to go a little bit further than just the microbiome on our skin, and trust me, you are going to be seeing lots of products talking about the microbiome on the skin and how to protect that and how to make sure it's healthy. But the point that I want to raise is that we also need to be concerned about our internal microbiome, especially in our gut. There have been studies that have been showing that gut dysbiosis is related to certain skin conditions like rosacea or psoriasis or acne or other different types of skin conditions that we see. There can be a relationship with gut dysbiosis. And gut dysbiosis is the imbalance of the microbial species within our gut. So the beneficial bacteria is minimized and the harmful bacteria is increased. And once there is that imbalance, we can see that impact on our health in many different ways, including our skin. The other thing that I am very concerned with, and I think you should also be concerned with, is chronic stress and stress management. I know it is something that I hugely have to work on for myself personally. But why am I talking about this when it comes to leveling up your skincare? Because chronic stress has been linked to reduced diversity in the microbiome in the gut. And remember, if this is not working properly, it's going to show up in your health and also your skin. But then here's the catch. How good your gut microbiome can also affect your stress responsiveness in terms of how your body manages stress. So then you end up in this vicious cycle where if the microbiome is not healthy, it impacts on how well your body is able to handle stress. And how well your body is able to handle stress is going to impact on the microbiome in your gut. And then all of these overall have an impact on your health, including your skin. So the point that I'm trying to make is that just remember that yes, our skincare routine, what we apply topically and all that is really important, but what happens internally has a big impact on the appearance of our skin, on the health of our skin, what happens with our skin. And then there's sometimes you can be doing a skincare routine, you can be very diligent with your ingredients and so on, but it could be an internal issue that is propelling particular skin issues. At the end of the day, our overall well-being is most important. I hope that the tips that I shared with you today were helpful. If you are going to work on any of these, I'd love if you can leave a comment down below. Let me know if you are already implementing some of these in your skincare routine, in your overall self-care routine, how it has been helping you. And I am going to be reporting on these throughout the year myself, because I am going to be working on a couple of these things in a little bit of an extra way than I probably would have, because I do want to level up my skincare. So let's do this together. The challenge is on, and I will see you guys in another video soon. Take care. Bye.